Hello, and welcome to the Happiness Project. If you might not already know, Eckhart Tolle is the author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, The Power of Now, and the critically acclaimed follow-up, A New Earth, which are largely considered two of the most significant spiritual works today. His approach focuses on cultivating more inner awareness, presence, and transcending our ego-based state of consciousness to assist people discover more serenity and fulfillment. One of the reasons Eckhart Tolle's teachings have had such a profound effect on the lives of millions around the world is that they are very grounded and realistic. He explains how many of us go about our daily lives, what goes on inside of us that causes us to struggle and be unhappy, and offers basic but powerful and useful advice that we can all put into practice. According to Tolle, the ego is the root of our misery because it produces the illusion that we are separated from our true nature. When our inner child is in pain, it feeds our ego's contraction. As a result, inner child work is an important spiritual activity because it allows us to heal, develop, and awaken. Of course, it is each of our aspirations to be ego-free. If you're reading this, you're someone who is deliberately trying to break free from the ego's cage. In today's video, we want to guide you towards inner peace and happiness using Eckhart Tolle's teaching on the ego. If you enjoy videos like these, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell. Like, share, and comment saying, "I subscribed," and we'll make sure to personally reply to them. Now, you might ask, is there a distinction between inner peace and happiness? Eckhart says yes. Happiness depends on the circumstances being perceived as something good and positive, while inner peace does not. Now, let's start with Eckhart says the ego is the source of our pain. One way to think of ego is as a protective outer shell, similar to the kind that some animals have. This protective layer acts as armor, isolating you from other people and the rest of the world. Shell refers to a sense of separation. There's myself, and then there's the rest of the universe and other people. The ego enjoys emphasizing another's otherness. The ego has you captive. You don't have thoughts, thoughts have you. And if you want to be free, you must grasp that the voice in your head produced them, and the aggravation and annoyance you are experiencing is an emotional reaction to that voice. You can only be present to the truer world around you in this way. Separate the voice of the ego from the actual situation. Because you know that your thoughts and the bad feelings they produce are unneeded, awareness is the first step toward becoming ego-free. That leads us to the next discussion on how to get past your ego. Of course, the trick is to struggle to break free from this armor and the voice that dictates reality. You don't try to get rid of or delete the ego now. Simply be mindful of it and let go. Simply do nothing about it. Your awareness of it is good enough. Trying to get rid of your ego becomes a challenge. The answer is actually very easy. Here, we will show you. An important spiritual practice to help you let go of your ego. Find a few minutes per day to be quiet, where you won't be interrupted. Relax the body by sitting comfortably and taking a few deep breaths. Allow your mind to pursue whatever thoughts and feelings arise for a few moments. Then come to a halt and ask yourself, are these emotions and thoughts a part of me? Are these my emotions and thoughts? Do I want them? Do they make a difference in my life? Why are they here? What are their origins? Why do I believe or feel these things? Who is it that is looking at these thoughts and emotions and experiencing them? Do not try to think of excuses or ideas in your head. Simply ask the questions and wait for an intuitive response to emerge from within you. Simultaneously, strive to keep a detached eye on your mind, mindful of the emotions that move through it, but not identifying with or following them. This is an example of a specific type of meditation. Every day, once or twice if you have the opportunity, meditate in this manner. After you've gotten used to this meditation, you can ask yourself the above questions if you have free time during the day. When your mind isn't focused on something in particular, such as when walking, waiting in line, or traveling by train or bus, you can do so. Pay close attention to the state of your mind and consciousness when you ask yourself these questions. Do these questions help you become more aware of your consciousness, yourself, and the essence beyond the ego, which is the true you? If you keep practicing this meditation, you will eventually develop a new type of consciousness. Try to remain in this new consciousness as much as possible, focusing your awareness on it whenever you can. This process will bring inner harmony and silence into your life, allowing you to experience consciousness beyond the ego. Make sure to watch until the end to see what can help bring you closer to inner peace. Up next are tips for getting over your ego. What else can you do to dissolve and overcome your ego and stop letting it run your life? Number 1, establish attention and concentration to gain control of your mind and thoughts. Your thoughts are formed by the quality of your conscience. Your thoughts will reflect your attitude of acceptance, joy, and enthusiasm. To be satisfied, you don't have to quit thinking fully, but you do have to give them the attention they deserve. Number 2, learn to silence your mind's constant noise. Do you really want happiness? If you answered yes, the first step is to figure out who the persistent voice in your head really belongs to. Is it yours, or is it the result of your primitive brain? Seeking satisfaction and well-being requires figuring out who is really speaking. If you keep thinking about the past, you'll get more of the same if you don't let go of those feelings. The lack of persistence allows the past to continue. This is why you should consider whether those feelings have any relevance to what you're doing now. Number 3, discover how to achieve inner harmony in your life. Knowing the truth, inquiring, "Who am I?" will help you overcome your ego. Number 4, by cultivating a certain level of emotional detachment, you will stop taking things personally and stop allowing outside influences to influence how you think and what you believe. We must go beyond the ego's relentless clamor, beyond rationality and reason, to the quiet, calm place within us, the domain of the soul. Deepak Chopra. Both of our attachments include the ego. Money, material things, our individual, a community, our work, our intellect, and even our sense of spiritual attainment may all become attachments. When we let go of one attachment, the ego would easily seek out another. The reality is that we have a lot of attachments at any given time. The ego thrives on attachments and is constantly on the lookout for new things, people, or accomplishments with which to mark and connect itself. Apart from that, maintain your ego. Don't expect to be able to get rid of it right away. Take it slowly. It's unlikely otherwise. Does defeating the ego mean it is bad? One might ask. Ego is necessary until a certain point in one's growth, after which it must be redefined. In this sense, ego refers to humanity's false notion of self that prevents the presence, universal knowledge, from shining through. When you reach a certain age, you know that all of the turmoil and emotional upheavals you experienced as a child have faded away, and you have begun to smile from a different place. You've grown into an adult. The ego must be dropped at this stage, and it will if the growth is healthy and flawless. Ego is a necessary stage in the development of consciousness, but we must accept and dissolve the ego in order to take the next step towards conscious evolution and ensure our survival. According to Eckhart Tolle, the 3 keys to happiness and inner peace are acceptance, pleasure, and excitement. These 3 paths are needed for consciousness to flow. All that isn't from them comes from our ego, which can be harmful. And to quote Eckhart, he says, "Pleasure is always derived from something outside you, whereas joy arises from within." The power of now. We'd like to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this video? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these, and make sure to check the description box below for our best recommendations to get you started. Also, check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.